everybody, and welcome to Hex Token channel. Woohoo! One live stream a day now. One live stream a day, not two live streams. One live stream a day. But we'll be doing lots of pre-recorded videos, how-to videos, insight videos, inspirational videos, and other videos. What's other videos? I don't know. We'll work out what that is. But it's going to be cool. Hope you guys enjoy it. And of course, dropped the first one yesterday. And here we are on Hex Token channel. I'm going to have to change a few things in the branding on the channel. But I'll update all that, in the next day or two. And of course, what else we got there? We've got our members here on the homepage. Big shout out to all the local members that are supporting the channel. I do appreciate everything you guys do. And of course, we've got some of the latest ones there. There's join buttons there. If you want to join, just click the join button. And of course, you can join the channel. Pulsechain, Hexkins, and the Richard Hart Club. There's a little intro video there too. Might actually update that. And of course, the Richard Hart Club as well. So 3 different memberships there, which help support the channel, which is pretty cool. And you also get upgraded on Discord as well. So it's pretty nice. Now, the thing is, here is the first video that I've done since we've changed the format to one live stream. Of course, how to buy and sell Hex on Ethereum Power Network. Now, obviously, you can stake it too. So we'll be looking at a lot of videos. Next video coming out today is going to be how to buy and sell Hex on the Ethereum Fair Network. So it's the other network there. And of course, following that, you know what video is coming after that. It's going to be a staking video on Acosa.pro. So we're going to look at that cross-chain. And then we've got a couple of videos coming in after that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoy that. And yeah, it's going to be cool. That way, I guess we got, a lot of people give a lot of feedback. They want nice, they love the live streams, but they also want short pre-record videos. So it's kind of a nice balance in the format. So I hope you guys enjoy that. In any case, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, all that good stuff on the way in. All right, we're going to get into, obviously, the stock market news, and then we're going to get into crypto news. We're going to then move over to the Hex ecosystem and, of course, look at all the prices. We've got so many prices now. Oh, my gosh, we've got so many prices in the Hex ecosystem. We've got, like, at least nine different tokens and, of course, multiple pairs. I mean, just endless number of pairings and liquidity pools. And of course, I've updated the actual Hex ecosystem price charts that have everything in there. So hopefully I've set that all nicely. We're going to look at the Hex daily stats. We're going to look at ETH Power and ETH Fair networks and some of the latest news there. We're going to also jump into a little meme there from Richard Hart as well, which I used for the thumbnail. And of course, we're going to look at the PulseX and liquid lines at the end. So stay tuned. Lots of cool stuff coming up here. Let's get into it, folks. Got a few people in the house already. Welcome, says Hex Token. Hey, welcome, Hex Token. BCC and the Matrix party time. Absolutely. Ted Nelson, good times with Hex and Maximus products. A lifetime of returns. I know. Isn't it incredible? You've got, 6 products for most people on 3 chains. 6 products on 3 chains. It's 18 products. Pretty amazing. And that excludes Hex itself. So you got Hex as well if you got Hex. Which is pretty amazing, right? So across 3 chains, and of course, it's going to be 4 chains with Pulsechain coming up. You're going to get everything on the Ethereum proof of stake chain copied over to Pulsechain. So you guys are in the best ecosystem, man, and it's a bear market. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when it's not? When it's going to be exciting. So very cool. Check my pulse in the house there. What's up, Superman? Good evening, future millionaires. I like that one. Check my pulse. Minted Trio, thank you for the how-to videos and awesome advice. All your hard work is genuinely appreciated. You're the man. Superman says, check my pulse. Hey, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. More coming, of course, in the new format with a lot more pre-record videos. So look forward to that. Blobfish King in the house there. Good morning, all. Gas pipes in Europe being blown up. What's going on? Yeah, looks like potential sabotage. Not unexpected, to be honest. It was just one of the different tactics that may be used to make a very cold winter in Europe. It is probably the easiest thing to counter there, assuming it's the Russians, which it seems like the most logical position there. Hey, Shane's in house. Yo, hey, good to see you, Shane. Blobfish Kings, I'm getting withdrawal symptoms from not getting my Hex token fixed in the afternoons. Love the short videos, says Blobfish King. Yeah, I guess there was a few people saying they're used to doing 2 live streams a day, but hey, yesterday was so much fun with Dipcatcher and of course Gold Key doing their launch. That was so much fun, and that was so cool just to be able to sit back and watch that myself. So big hats off to them. 1.1 billion Hex put away through Maximus and the perpetuals, just amazing results, mind-boggling results. Major dent on the Hex circulating supply, and of course that's all this year. So really, really cool. I have an estimate. I think that the Hex circulating supply is probably under 16 billion now, and yeah, it's kind of pretty impressive. Maybe even lower than that, maybe 15.5 billion, something like that. So it's kind of pretty cool. Brennan and House there. Morning, ladies, gents, and superheroes. Hey, Brennan, I like Hex's DB Keepers. So do I. Hi, guys. It's Crypto Dan. J-Man in House. Hello, J-Man. And, of course, Big Kahuna. Woo-hoo-hoo. Good to see Big Kahuna. Love this live stream. Best community in all of crypto, says J-Man. Absolutely, man. And our Discord is really cool. If you want to get into our Discord, we're heading up towards 800 people, I think. 800? Yeah, 800. And, of course, you can join. Great community, great info. The link's in the video description. Rothko says, hey, live streaming never ends, says Rothko. I'm moving to one live stream, but if there's important events on, I'll be doing extra live streams for important events. So that'll still be the case. Crypto Heartbeat's in the house. What's up, Crypto Heartbeat? Hey, good to see Crypto Heartbeat in the house there. And he is such a cool dude, and we appreciate everything he does for the community. Tim Top in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? What's up to Top? There's a lot of what's up in the house. Sandy Beach in the house as well. Good to see you, Sandy Beach. Mikey, what's up, Zoom? Hello, everybody. Seeing the whale bot with all the perps staked looks bullish. Yeah, so that's going to come up in today's staking numbers. We're going to see it on the Hex Daily Stats is the big T-shares. Was it over 90,000 T-shares, something like that? So we're going to see that actually show up in the Hex Daily Stats. So we'll look forward to that. Hey, Hex Token, everybody. Oh, by the way, it shows up in the stats, but it also reduces your payout slightly for your Hex Daily payout because what was it, about 1 point something percent, 1.2 or something percent or something of all the new T-shares. So just take that into account. Hi, Hex Token, and everybody says Sandy Beach. Richard's in the house there. Hi, guys. If the bottom is coming in November, how long do you think it will stay? Hard to know, Richard. Hard to know. There's so many volatile things at the moment that really is hard for anybody, even our mighty founder, to call it properly. And you can probably see his frustrations in the Pulse conference thing there about a lot of things happening with BTC and everything else. Vance, we are probably the most positive group to be in during the bear market. Absolutely, Vance. Absolutely, man. Look at the fun time we've had over the last several weeks, months. We've had a Koza hedge on launch. We've had Maximus and Team Perpetuals launched. It has been a fun time during the bear market. Man, if you were in a lot of other projects, you'd be feeling pretty down. You'd be trying to trade for pips or trade for sats. That's pretty much what you'd be doing. Oh, rewatch. Have a great stream, says Sandy Beach. And Dave Downen says 1 day closer to the bottom, 1 day closer to Pulsechain. That's true. How long do you think to bull run, says Richard. And of course, Richard, you asking the same question in a different way. Vance and Malone says it will be a cool if Richard Hart launches Pulsechain on December the 2nd. Hey, look, Richard, since you're asking a lot of questions about that, really we're looking probably at the beginning of next year if we're going to have a good chance. Now, the one thing that we're all watching that might offset even that is the interest rate rises continuing into 2023 past the federal funds rate of, say, 4.25 to 4.5. So that's probably the biggest issue there, and no one knows how far. We know that they're going to be fairly hawkish and aggressive, the Federal Reserve. So we'll see. That being said, we're in a pretty robust environment for the Hex and Pulsechain ecosystem, and I'm sure Richard will pick the best timing. There is a lot of capital as well, although there's no expectations around capital that may get the prices moving up against the trend. There's a little teaser there in the Pulse conference thing about that. So anyway, no expectations, but that's probably a reasonable summary of things. And of course, we've got the highest of stakes out there at the back at the end of this year. We don't know. They're going to give us a distribution update on marketing, things like that. We'll have a better idea. Consensus is, of course, I presume that a lot of the language code has been done. Maybe they're ironing out little things, but really I think it's the timing of the market and maybe the highest of stakes, and of course the consensus work still to be done. And of course, I think that'll probably line up over the Christmas period sometime into the beginning of the new year. So it's kind of where I feel that the info is at this stage. J-Man in the house there. Cool if it launches on 2nd December. That would be pretty neat too, Vance. Birthday of Hex, 3 years, moving into 4 year. PulseBot launching soon on BNB, says J-Man. Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's coming up in October, so really excited for a PulseBot. It is a risk. It's the speculative part of our crypto that we look at, but I think it's so innovative and such a game changer that it could really do incredibly well. So looking forward to it. Mike says, where can I find footage of Superman back during his dancing career? I don't disclose that stuff there, Mikey. I just leave that in the past, and that's pretty much it. All right, cool. Let us jump on to the Hex, into the stock market. Dow ends wild ride in red as bears strengthen their grip. Well, we knew this was coming, so no surprises for us. I said that they've been saying this for a long time. Volatility is in the game. We're in a bear market as well, so generally a downtrend is in play. We've already seen decent corrections in the stock market. Nothing surprising here. If you've seen these before, 2000, 987, all these sort of things you've seen it time and time again. 2006, 7, we've seen this many times. So we've just had a super cycle with super cheap money since that period of time. And of course, that's pretty much led us into a huge, massive super cycle bull markets and asset classes. And this is where we are today. I think we've only had a very minor dip recession. What was it, 2016, 17, something like that. And a little bit there short-lived in 2020. But apart from that, it's pretty much been a pretty bull cycle. All right, let's have a look where we are at the moment. Dow Jones, top 30 industrials in the United States. That is down 125 points, just under 0.5%, to 29,134. This being below 30,000 was your first clue to we could get some major moves down off from this. So we'll be watching that pretty closely. S&P 500, 3,647, down 7 points there, just 0.2 of a penny. A percent, a penny and percent, pretty similar. Nasdaq with all the tech companies in, down 20, up 26, which is actually quite good in the tech stocks, up 0.25% there to 10,829. And of course, the dollar index there just up slightly stronger versus trading partners. Obviously, the interest rate rises have made an impact. So it's interest rate rise and the strength of the dollar there that's impacting other currencies. The Kiwi and others have dived. Obviously, the pound had the massive dive. So just shows you what happens there. All right, so cool. The commodities, have a look at that. West Texas. Let's have a look here. What's that going on there? Okay, pretty flat, pretty much flat, $84.78. But at least it's eased back quite a bit. Let's have a look at the last month on the chart there with the West Brent oil. We can see that's eased back here. I mean, it was up a month ago up at $104. Slowly came down to 88. Got back up to 95 and then back down to 83, 84. So nice little, that's good for you at the pump. Obviously not the best for the summertime because obviously Americans have left the summer now. So yeah, but there we are. It's nice to see a little reprieve. That will pull down nominal inflation. Core inflation, of course, excludes food and energy like oil. Yeah, that's probably good generally speaking, though. In terms of slightly taking a bit of edge off the inflation side of things. Obviously, energy is the fundamental to modern society, and of course, it floods through 85-90% of products as well in some form or another. Let's have a look at gold and silver. $1,635 on gold. Not having the best day, right? Used to be over $1,800. In fact, if we look back here, even a month ago, we were up at $1,750. So it's down quite a bit there. The gold bugs keep harping on. And of course, you see some articles about the reserve banks around the world accumulating gold, and they do that. But really, it'd be interesting if we ever get to that point. People have been calling that for 15 years. Eventually, they're going to be right some stage, right? Especially after the super cycle. If they ever had a chance of being right, probably within the next year or something. We'll see. We may get saved. We may get saved this November. If we can change out that all those crazy nutters in the dominating Congress at the moment and swap that party out, please. All right, so let's have a look here. The Dow slipped further into bear market territory Tuesday as investors continue to digest wave of remarks from Federal Reserve members, pointing to further rate hikes that many fear could tip the economy into recession. I just wonder whether they'll actually do a 75 basis points in November. We'll see whether that politically is done because we know that they're supposed to be neutral, but they are not neutral. If you look at their policies, they are for the incumbent party at the moment. which is the one that's wrecking everything. So let's see how we go. Tech played dominated market direction as a strong start on dip buying action was offset by a rise in treasury yields as investors digested data pointing to a stronger consumer. So consumers still holding up, but this is not uncommon. Can lag for several months. And of course, it's good to see the consumer still doing well because as soon as these numbers start diving all over the place, then we really start falling pretty hard and fast. All right, so cool. Let's have a look here. Data showing strong consumer confidence reinforced expectations that the Fed Reserve is likely to stay the course and lift its benchmark rate above 4% by the end of the year. So benchmark there, the rate is we're talking about is the federal funds rate there. That's the interbank rate between banks. The conference board's consumer confidence gauge rose to 108 in October from 103 in September. That's pretty good. Actually, it's pretty strong. And that beating economists' forecast at 104. So it's quite a decent confidence level there, which is kind of weird. Like I say, it may end up pulling down in future months. Consumer sentiment is a leading indicator of consumer spending, which plays a major role in overall economic activity. I think it's something like 70% of the US economy is consumer. And of course, that is the world's big consumer as well as the United States. And so, yeah, this is positive for the demand side. Obviously, demand side means more pressure on supply and then more inflation. So really, they can't just raise interest rates. Interest rates is such a blunt instrument. There's lots of losers. And of course, they really need to be focusing on supply as well. And of course, they're not doing that. They've actually caused a lot of these supply issues in the current US administration. So that's one of the big problems. The pickup in confidence, consumer confidence, which was driven by falling gas prices, Pantheon Macroeconomics said might not last as people absorb the hit from the recent drop in stock prices and the Fed's latest rate hikes with the promise of more to come. So obviously, inflation impacts your real wages. It also impacts when they raise interest rates against that inflation. It actually has an inverse relationship to asset markets. And therefore, your 401ks and things like that start diving. So you lose out on the income, you lose out on the assets, and of course things start moving down. That's the issue there. Federal Reserve Bank St. Louis President James Bullard indicated on Tuesday that the Fed had more work to do, calling for further rate hikes that would need to stay at higher rate for some time to make sure we've got the inflation problem under control. That's all good and well and good, but like I say, that is the right way. If you're going to head off inflation correctly, you need to raise rates up pretty high towards that inflation rate, especially if you're targeting 2% inflation. But the fact is, you've also got to deal with the supply issue, and that's what they're not doing. And so they're being slow. Remember, they talked about inflation being transitory because they really don't know what they're doing. Either that or they're politically doing it intentionally, which is probably the case there, or they've got their hands tied because they're trying to appease their masters who are in the White House and the leading Congress at the moment. So we'll see what happens with that. Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis President Neil Kari there, I think it is, said that the current pace of rate hikes was appropriate and reiterated the Fed's comments of bringing down inflation. And I think they're probably back onto path now in terms of dealing with that. Energy stocks recovered from a rout a day earlier, supported by a 2% rise in oil prices, rose on bet of supply disruptions in the U.S. Gulf of Mexico. It's Hurricane Ian is expected to make landfall in Florida on a Wednesday. So, yeah, our prayers go out to everybody in Florida there. I think it's currently ranked, what is it, rating 3. Yeah, so I've seen some sandbags and things like that done and some images. So all the best for you there. Definitely pray for your protection, that's for sure. So that pretty much is the stock market, folks. So not as bad in some ways as last week we had 4 red days. We had a bit of a recovery on bit of a red day on Monday this week, a recovery yesterday, and now a bit of volatility back in today. So what's that? 4 plus 6 days out of the last 7 days have been red days. So that's what we get when we get in this volatility. We're likely to have a couple of days where we get some green days in a row, and we'll see how we get on there. In any case, Bitcoin was doing quite well. Bitcoin recovered, remember, and of course went up over 20,000, then back down to 19,000. So showing some similar volatility there, and up to 20,000, which was a really nice rebound yesterday, then back down 1,000 to 19,000 again. and ETH there at $1,331, BNB at 272. It's kind of where this is going at the moment. So if we look at the markets here, you can see the volatility over the last month there. So, we were back down a month ago. We're at 20,400. We went down as low as 19,000, and we went back up to 22,000, and then back down all the way back down to 18,700. Then we popped back up over 20,000, back down. So some real volatility over the last month, and of course the last day there. Look at that, we're up pretty nicely at 20,000. We popped back up there. Look at that, woohoo! And then we're back down again. So following that stock market, to some degree as well. Let's have a look at some of the crypto news, of course. We had bankrupt crypto lender Celsius Network CEO Alex Mashinsky resigns. One of Richard's good friends. I'm just kidding. Resigns there. Celsius token is trading 8% lower on the announcement. So it's probably good to see some heads rolls. But of course, how much do they get away with things? Alex Mashinsky, the CEO of bankrupt crypto lender Celsius Network, has resigned. According to a press release, Chief Executive Officer Chris Ferraro has been appointed as Chief Restructuring Officer and Interim CEO with immediate effect. I elected to resign my post as CEO of Celsius Network today, says Mashinsky. Nevertheless, I will continue to maintain my focus on working to help the community unite behind a plan that will provide the best outcome for all creditors, which is what I have been doing since the company filed for bankruptcy. Celsius was one of the first in a long list of crypto companies that succumbed to the pressures of the year's bear market. It wasn't coming to the bear market. It was the fact that they were mismanaging the funds that were under their portfolio, and of course he made completely misleading statements in the market. I can see him getting done for this in the courts, because he was making out a number of statements that were, it's all safe, it's all good. Don't go for those wrecked things like Hex. Don't go for those. It's like these guys are crazy. Meanwhile, we're going to leverage your assets out and all that sort of stuff. So the lender began to feel the squeeze following cuts of Terra ecosystem, which saw 60 billion in value evaporate in May. Celsius acted by freezing withdrawals in June before filing for bankruptcy 1 month later. So this is a big lesson to be learned here. In Hex ecosystem, we live in the decentralized land of crypto, not in the centralized land. And if you stay in the centralized land, as Richard's warned many times, the chances of you getting burnt are very high. You don't own the keys to your coins, and you will not be able to get them. When this happened, we had so many people making comments how they got wrecked, and it's really unfortunate. Obviously, a lot of people that in the Hex ecosystem that were very much in decentralized products have not had any problem at all. It's just a lesson to be learned, isn't it? Celsius native Cell token is trading 8% lower following the announcement. The official committee of unsecured creditors, a group of former Celsius customers, acted as liaisons for the company's bankruptcy case, said it had asked for Mashinsky's removal from the company. The committee believes, based upon the information received, that Mr. Ferraro is capable of overseeing the debtors' assets and affairs, and looks forward to further dialogue with Mr. Ferraro, the special committee, and the debt advisors regarding the next phase of restructuring process. The group said in a statement filed Tuesday in the bankruptcy court. Committee might also try to sue Mashinsky for any damages that they believe he personally owes, according to the statement. And this is where I said to you, this is where I think he could get on the neck there. There's so many videos of him making statements that were completely misleading and not actually reflecting the true activities of the company. So let's see how that goes. Obviously, it's going to be interesting. Another one, of course, FTX exchange wins bid to buy crypto lender Voyager's digital assets. Another one falling from grace, and of course out of bankruptcy. And of course, FTX US bid is valued at approximately 1.4 billion, according to a Voyager press release late Monday Eastern time. And exchange giant FTX won the bidding war to buy the assets of a bankrupt Voyager Voyager. In its press release on Monday, FTX was bidding against Wave Financial, a digital asset investment firm. Voyager token rose after the announcement, and crypto lender Voyager Digital filed bankrupt in July. Industry observers had been increasing their scrutiny of Voyager's business practices, particularly how the Canadian listed firm said in marketing materials the investors' depositors were protected by Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation insurance. So ouchie there, folks. While the FDIC insurance would indeed protect bank-held cash deposits up to $250,000, it would not cover cash converted to stable coins. According to writer Francis Coppola, Voyager's loan book accounted for nearly half of its assets, and nearly 60% of that loan book was composed of loans to Three Arrows, which also filed Chapter 615 bankruptcy also in July. So you can sort of see the interconnectedness there. Celsius, Voyager, Three Arrows Capital. CoinDesk was the first to report that in September the 16th, that FTX was in the lead to buy Voyager's assets. So there's some pretty major news covering all those victims victims and sometimes what do you call it, the antagonist or something in the ecosystem. The other thing, of course, South Korean authorities look to freeze 67 million Bitcoin tied to Terra's Do Kwon, Mr. Famous Do Kwon there. Interpol has issued a red notice for Kwon's provisional arrest and pending extradition as a worldwide search for the Terraform Labs co-founder continues. They're searching for him, but he's not on the run, he says. Authorities in South Korea have requested crypto exchanges OKX and Qcoin to freeze some 3,313 Bitcoin worth around 67 million tied to Terra Labs co-founder Do Kwon and CoinDesk Korea on Tuesday. Here's once again, you don't want even if you're up in trouble, you don't want to have your assets on centralized exchanges, do you? Because you don't own the keys to your coins. And so let's see whether that actually executes. Not all exchanges are created equal, of course, or are the same. Let me say that way. The Bitcoin was transferred to digital wallets of the exchanges shortly after an arrest warrant was issued for Kwon in South Korea on September the 14th. According to the report, authorities accused the crypto entrepreneur of violating the country's security laws and issued a warrant just months after the collapse of the 40 billion Terra Luna ecosystem, which triggered the market downturn and collapse of other major players in the industry. While Kwon has maintained he is not on the run, South Korean authorities have asked Interpol for assistance in locating him. On Monday, Interpol put out a red notice, which is a request for law enforcement around the world to locate and provisionally arrest Kwon pending extradition, surrender, or similar legal action. So that's pretty much that. Although not to say that Interpol is neutral anymore. If you saw how they stopped the reporters coming into New Zealand, that was just complete political corruption there. Blockchain data analytics platform CryptoQuant says a digital wallet for the Luna Foundation Guard was suddenly created in crypto exchange Binance on September the 15th. In 3 days that followed, 3,300 Bitcoin were transferred to Qcoin and OKX. In the months before Terra's collapse, the Luna Foundation Guard bought around 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin to beef up the reserves of the stablecoin UST. We covered that on this channel, remember? We were watching to see whether it removed and this and that. It was one of the first signs that it was in trouble potentially, and that could be impacted upon. While Qcoin has frozen some 1,354 BTC transferred to the platform, OKX is initially ignoring the prosecution's request to freeze assets according to the article. So here we are. It's really interesting. Obviously, if you've got your coins on centralized exchange, you don't have the control of them. But in terms of OKX here, they're taking a different position than Qcoin at the moment. So, some of them may be into protecting people's freedom because obviously it is a brand issue, right? You're going to be able to lock anybody's coins. If somebody from some legal agency decides to get after them, or is this crypto and it's decentralized, you're free and all that sort of stuff. So some really interesting questions there. So pretty much that was it on that one. And finally, obviously, there also a bit more information here as well. I'd also want to read something from here because it's pretty funny. And of course, in response to a quick question on Twitter, Kwon tweeted on Monday that I'm writing code in my living room. On September 7th, he retweeted that unless we are friends, have plans to meet, or involved in a GPS-based Web3 game, you have no business knowing my GPS coordinates. So that's pretty funny. So they still haven't tracked him down there. Apparently, he's not in Singapore. So let's see where they might be able to find him there. Prosecutors said in South Korea that Kwon was obviously on the run and not cooperating with investigators. So some interesting things going on there. All right, so that's pretty much the crypto and stock market news. We had some nice little stories there, actually. I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, the markets at the moment. But some of the big news, we're going to get into it. Hex on POW, or Hex on the Ethereum POW network is now on CoinGecko. Woohoo! And a big shout out to who was that that posted that? A big shout out to I think it's back up here. Big shout out to Generin for that. Highlighted that to me today. That Hex is now on Coin Gecko as Hex as ETHW there. Hex W. Pretty cool. And the 0.001832. So I'm going to post that in the chat if you want to save that to your favorites. That is great news, man. Great news. Let's go here and bam. All right. What else we got going? Let us have a look here. We've got a few other things here. J-Man says, if the war in Ukraine ends and inflation slows, the Fed lower the interest rates, you will see the bull market take off. We have a way to go, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't see any of those things happening too soon. Refined in the house there. Hey, Refined. Shane says, nice suit, man. They're crazy, all right? They are crazy. If silver goes down a little bit more, I might pick up a little, says J-Man. It's always good to have a little bit of precious metals in the portfolio, that's for sure. Hit the like button, says J-Man. Absolutely. Still no Rack and Michelle. No Pulse Player. I haven't heard from him for a little while. I don't know if he's even been on Telegram doing some of his little chat shows, which I do like. I was looking forward to him becoming a big personality in the ecosystem. Seems like he's got other things happening. It could be personal, could be business. Hard to tell. Happy Jewish New Year, says J-Man. Happy Jewish New Year to you. Interesting. What else have we got there? Not your keys, not your coins. Glad I took Richard Hart's advice. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know too many people that unfortunately were a victim of that. Fat Sammy says, woohoo, good to see you, Fat Sammy. Randy Alasky in the house there. Happy end of Shemitah. Randy, obviously, awesome series that he's done with the Shemitah there. I don't actually know what it is, but it's. I know that it was exciting, and a lot of people have been talking about it, so well done there, Randy. J-Man in the house there. RH projects are the safest in all crypto. Absolutely. They're the gold standard. And, there's lots of tens of thousands of crypto now, but the very gold standard is the Richard Hart ecosystem, and Pulsechain's coming, and that's going to absolutely scale that right up. J-Man says, saving my liquid for when Pulsechain launches, and I am very intent to pick up some Hex on these new chains. Lol, says J-Man. Yeah, we're going to talk about those in a second. J-Man, do quant a scammer? Yeah. Generin says, hi, Superman. I've got a question for a friend. I onboarded to your channel last night. They have USDC on both ETHW and ETH chains copied from mainnet. Where does liquidity come? Well, those are worth nothing as far as I know. They all went down close to zero on the chains, so they're not worth much to you there, unfortunately. Genuine. Randy says that if Hex W is doing this good, just imagine it on Pulsechain. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I think they'll probably do pretty well. Well, they're going to have to be bridged over, Randy, because they're not going to be. Are you talking about the Pulsechain version of Hex? Yeah, the Hex is definitely going to be amazing. Is it a good idea to buy Hex on ETHW? Do you think? Well, I can't make those. I don't think any YouTuber should give you those opinions. What I will say is that I think it's probably a reasonable thing to do. Let me put it that way. But once again, you need to do your own investment due diligence. We're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to get up to the prices as well. Now, I did do a video yesterday on how to buy Hex on ETHW, but that's not an encouragement to necessarily do it. That's just showing you how it is done. Yeah. Now, there are three chains. If you think there are three chains, there is Hex on Ethereum. This is the Genesis chain. This is the most valuable chain. And, of course, Hex is the most valuable on there. There is the ETH Power, which is from a chain, a centralized exchange and network effect, has got the next biggest value. And, of course, it has the next best price. And, of course, then you have the ETH Fair network, which has been doing surprisingly well recently. And it's also getting some exchange support there. But that is sort of the third level chain. Now, what we would say about that is that you need, you can get prices can move to parity versus the reference price of Hex on Ethereum. But to stay there, you need a certain amount of economic energy relative to the liquidity pools and the Hex going on there. So it depends on how much activity is going on there, how much you can maintain, like even get the parity. But in any case, even if it doesn't get the parity on those chains, and it does quite well, then if it managed to keep up a certain level of price, then that's all pretty much a passive income for anyone willing to claim that passive income at any particular time in the future. So I think, the chances that they could tinker along there, some of them might get more valuable than others. We just don't know. There's so much uncertainty there. But yeah, it's worth a reasonable position to take up. And of course, you can pick up a lot of Hex on those chains, relatively speaking. But you got to remember that there is a lot of Hex, relatively speaking, on each chain. The same suppliers are on each chain. So just remember that. Obviously, all the key measures, share rates and stuff will slowly diverge over time based on different behavior. Obviously, there's going to be less activity over there at this time, so shouldn't change too much. But yeah, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity like anything else. But of course, it's a little bit better because it's Hex. It's probably the way I'd say. And of course, Hex front run those chains. The communities were up there first. Now I see other tokens like Uni and POW and things like that on there doing well. So that bodes well for the chain. So probably going to bode well for new users coming onto the chain. And maybe that's a good form of new demand coming in. And of course, they'll all see Hex and Hedron and things at the top there. And maybe they'll be wanting to buy some of that too. So yeah, there's lots of opportunity there, I would say. But we are in a bear market at the moment, so which hasn't quite reached the bottom in most, in a lot of people's views, I would say. What is Hex going to be called on Pulsechain? Hex. And is there any other coins doing well on these new ETH chains? Says J-Man. Yeah, well, there's a few. We're going to have a look at them now, so let's get to it. All right, so cool. A very exciting note. Look at that. The price not too bad, up 20% for XW. Let's get into some of the comments here. So here we are on Heath Powell. We're on Twitter here, just having a look at some of the updates. We've got, now this is pretty interesting. I haven't checked this out, but this is at CoinTool, a set of sweet tools, always come in handy whether you're a farmer, collector, or builder, thank you. And it looks like that this site, which I have never used, so just taking it into account, it's called CoinTool. And it looks like they have all these these tools around coins on the blockchain there for EVMs. They've added ETH Powell there, which means that some people are asking, can you do approval checker? And you might be able to use some of these to actually check. And I think they may even have revoked. Now, there are other systems you can do that on. And I think Dipcatcher was showing us a few systems where you can do, interact differently with the blockchain and with the contracts. Definitely worth doing. I might actually explore that for some upcoming videos. But yeah, there's got whole ton of different features you can do on those. So that might be of interest as well. I might check that out a bit more. But that came out 18 hours ago. What else there we got there? See what the community found. You can now easily track ETHW price with the iPhone stocks widget. So that's cool. They got that. And that was it. That's pretty much it for the ETH Power there updates on Twitter. And of course, let's get to the prices because that's what everyone's talking about at the moment. We got Uni at the top now. So Uni at the top. So this WETH is actually just ETHW. Don't get confused with wrapped ETH. I'm not aware of any wrapped tokens on here yet. But yes, this is all basically just, wrongly put here. Really, it's just ETHW. And of course, we got Uni at the top there, up to $1.18. Are you kidding me? Up 67% on that. Now, I've ordered this by Liquidity pools. So if you want to look at the ETH Power prices on Dex Screener, I'll post the links in the chat there. Genuine says, thanks, Superman. I really appreciate your thoughts and honest opinion. You're welcome there, Genuine. Yeah, I always think about things about economic energy that you need on 3 chains. Now, that being said, there is new demand coming in there. The price may try and move to convergence, which means that potentially could be a lot of upside. And of course, you can pick up a lot of Hex volume at the current prices, relatively speaking, to Hex on the ETH chain. That said, of course, the ETH chain is the Genesis chain. And of course, if that price turns around quickly and you wanted to buy more and you didn't, then, at the moment you've been lucky because it's been, at the bottom of its market. But where exactly is it going from here? This is a great marketing for Hex and Hedron, says Randy. Absolutely, it's great marketing. Look at it. Randy's right on there. That's why I said at the top here, we've got Hex and all up here. So all these people coming in for these other tokens and stuff like that. Bone from SHIB community. Bone and SHIB is the SHIB community. POW, and of course, then we've got obviously Uni at the top there. So let's pull up the SHIB. I wasn't going to do this, but let's do. I think I've still got SHIB community here somewhere. Hopefully I have. Let me have here. SHIB. Let me just type that in. SHIB Inu website. Boom. And so I was going to go, hopefully this got all the ones I wanted on here. So SHIB tokens, these are SHIB tokens, SHIB, Leash, and Bone. So these are part of the SHIB ecosystem. Obviously, they've evolved from just a meme coin into a bigger community with NFTs and their own swap and things like that. Obviously, one of the biggest communities in crypto. And of course, we can see that on here, They got Bone there and Shib with the little doggy boy there as well. And of course, they've moved up into here as well. So interesting, they've done quick adoption. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing them be quick adopters on Pulsechain, obviously, as well. And of course, then we've got Hex in here as well. We've got Uni come in, and Uni come take top spot. Hex was at top spot. Obviously, the fast movers, Hex people are fast movers on decentralized exchanges. Obviously, made Richard Hart with the Hex community made Uniswap popular and all that good stuff. 1 inch and everything else. It's pretty exciting. Hex really does lead the way in so many ways. Pretty crazy, the Hex community. All right, so cool. We got 200,000 volume in here. So this seems to have gone up again. Obviously, the price is up at just under 0.2 of a penny, but it is up about 10-12%. Maybe it's starting to form another go. Maybe it's going to have another go at moving higher. Remember, the high price for Hex has been at 0.4 of a penny, so it's just under 0.2 at the moment. So looking pretty good. We've got Hedron in here as well. Haven't been able to find Maxi on here at all. So let me know if you found a Maxi price on the ETH Pal. I haven't seen one yet, but there's definitely Hedron on here. So we've got Hedron here. It's got 6 zeros, 1783 here on Hedron. There's even Pal Hedron pairs and things like that. So pretty cool. Okay, Dex there as well. And a couple other tokens I'm not familiar with. So cool. It's looking pretty good, but the volumes definitely look like they're picking up a little bit there in the liquidity pools. And of course, the volumes they're looking pretty nice as well for Hex, Pal, and Uni there. So pretty cool. What does it say here? The last block's at the last block height for the chain. It's got the transactions as well. Close to 50,000 transactions there, and $2.4 million in 24-hour volume on the chain. So it's not too bad. So let's jump over to ETH there. And of course, so I did a video on how to buy Hex on this chain. Now we'll be doing one today on ETH. So I look forward to that. So now we're going to get to ETH because I'm going to be doing one on this one. So just a look at some of the comments here. We are pleased to announce the MPC wallet now supports Ethereum Fair mainnet and will form an in-depth partnership with ETH Fair. So what we're looking at on Twitter here for the official sites is how they are evolving the ecosystem. Now, Hex doesn't, the Pulsechain, obviously we've got, ours is ginormous and we've got so many alpha utilities coming on. Ours is just going to land like one just big bomb now. That's one of the best things for the deferment of Pulsechain launch. Let's put it that way, is that we're going to have all this stuff landing at once. It's going to be ginormous. So these Power and Fair, just a little teasers about what Pulsechain's going to do. It really is impressive. So it's nice to see these ones here expanding their ecosystem. You can still see how it's rolling out with the news flow. It's kind of cool like that. Happy to announce Mole DeFi going live with Ethereum Fair. Mole DeFi is a DeFi protocol providing leveraged yield farming, funds, and savings on Avalanche chain. So cool, and hooked into the Avalanche there. Alien Exchange there doing stuff. What else there? 15 hours ago, the power of PAL. Congratulations to ETH Fair. Congratulations, 3 lucky users there. I think they've had a few exchanges doing giveaways here. This is some of the stuff. These giveaways are really cool on things, but obviously there's a lot of scam accounts. So don't fall for the scam accounts. You must be on the official Twitter there. But the thing is that one of my concerns was some of the giveaways on these exchanges meant that these people could dump all their ETH Fair. That's the one thing that made me cautious about ETH Fair, even though it's done fairly well in the price there. New DEX URL there for ETH Fair. What else there? I think that's it. CoinMarketCap, we're privileged to have early access to this live discussion board function on CoinMarketCap. So with ETH Fair there on CoinMarketCap and so forth. So yeah, looking good there. That's pretty much it for the update. And they've had a couple of news items there with new ecosystems, but obviously want to keep expanding that at a pretty rapid pace. Pulsechain is just going to be a juggernaut. You're going to be overwhelmed with so many projects coming on, hundreds of projects and top tier dApps and utilities. Those are the ones you really want. But of course, we're going to have both of them. We're going to have small, medium, large, and giant utilities. And of course, they've all now got the time to finish their products. And of course, we're looking forward to Power City launching 2 of their products in October for testnet. We just saw Liquid Loans launch this month for their one. Obviously, Fiat's been out for a while. We look forward to an update from them. Fiat fork of Aave, Liquid Loans fork of Liquidity, and of course much more. So we're getting really the best quality DeFi stuff out there and things. So, and we're gonna have 2 stable coins from the looks of it. At least one that we're guaranteed. The other one, CST with Coast, is definitely a possible pipeline. And of course, we don't have stable coins on the ETH Power and Ethereum network. And so just remember that's just another feature that's Pulsechain is going to be so much bigger. It really is cool. Well, let's jump over to the Ethereum prices here. So you can see at the very top here, USD prices for Ethereum fee are being derived from MEXC's exchange, ETH and USDT market. So the USDT is actually backed by fiat with the US tether there, and may fluctuate significantly. There are currently no stable coins on Ethereum fee, so it's very important to take that into account. Right, so let's have a look. We've got liquidity at the top here. So you can see liquidity is a lot smaller, but if we have a look at the headline numbers here, we've got the blockchain at 15,625,502. And of course, that's different from the ETH power one there, 15,621,852. So you got the blockchain differences there. You've also got the transactions, 16,000 transactions here on ETH compared to 50,000 almost on ETH power. And of course, the volume there, $197,000 in volume reference versus 2.4 million. So you can sort of see who's the bigger chain at the moment. But hey, watch this metrics. Let's see if Ethereum fee can catch up. And so forth. So cool. The top coins, of course, by liquidity, Hedron, and so forth. But of course, if we spin that around for volume, then we've got Hex wrapped ETH there. So Hex still on top, even with the volume. It doesn't matter which ones you filter by. I like to go by liquidity because really that's the one that you can, impact or not impact prices as well. So this is really a retail play. We're not going to get a lot of big whales in here. They would move the price dramatically. Now they may come in and do something, but of course that would be, given how much Hex is out there and moving the price, they would have to be in there for a bit of the long game to do that, because basically they're putting their funds into the pool there. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And of course this is multi-chains too. You got to take that perspective as well. But at the moment, 00048 is the Hex price over here. That's was it 0018 there. So what's that? 3x difference there. 18 divided by 0.000. What did I say it was? 5. Let's say 5. So that's a 3.6x bigger price on ETH power for Hex than on Fair. But of course, if you're a small retail punter, you want to speculate, you could get a ton of Hex on ETH Fair there versus ETH power. Now, just remember that actually sending ETH power and ETH Fair, at least on using cross-chain swap dexes, you need something like 500 confirmations to transfer those out. So just take that into account. I'm actually not sure about that's different with swap space on chains. Actually, I'm not sure. I haven't traded one out on. I'll get back to that in the second video that I do later today. But yeah, what happens means that if you're getting delayed in a swap chain, you might be selling at a price you think is really good. But if it takes 2 hours to get out, then they may actually trade that out at the price in 2 hours time. So that's the one issue there that you might impact. Cool. It may play in your favor if the price goes up, but it may play against you if the price goes down. It's pretty much that. All right, cool. So that is the markets at the moment. And of course, we've actually got Maxi in here. So we actually have Maxi on ETH, which is kind of weird. It doesn't seem to be in on the ETH power. So haven't found that yet. And maybe just trading between Hex and Maxi is the best ratio trade, but I still haven't seen that on Ethereum Fair, although I think you can see it on Kyber Swap, so which is where you're going to trade there. So that's some of the stuff happening there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Big news though, ETHW on CoinGecko. I think that's pretty cool. We're going to jump out all of that, of course, and let's get up to the Hex Charts is where we're up to at the moment. So we're moving through our program today, 49 minutes. Terry Doc says, hey, Superman from Scotland. Hey, Terry Doc, always a pleasure. Yeah, Terry knows that I want to go to Scotland one day. I like ETH Fair, even though I can't stand Justin Sun, says Randy. That's funny, man. That's funny. This community is going to need a lot of sudden wealth counseling in a few years, says Damien. I think you're right there. Isn't that what Matty Allen does? Isn't that what Matty Allen does there? Many will require prolonged 2 more weeks counseling, says DB. I think you might be right about Pulsechain there. Lol. Yeah. So, hey, look, maybe we'll get a Christmas surprise. We will see. All right, so here we are, Hex at the moment. Hex at 3.3 cents on the Hex USDC. And, it was up at 3.4, just eased off a little bit there. And how long will it be? Are we going to stay here at 2.8? Richard's kind of indicated a couple of times through indirectly about Hex being at the bottom. Obviously, that's subject to interest rate rises and a lot of other factors. I mean, it's not like it wasn't a conditional statements, I guess, and things like that. So here we are. We had back on the 18th here, this 2.8. We got back here on the 20th here, 2.766. So pretty much 2.8 is like the bottom there. I think there was a 2.5 on one of the charts. I can't remember now. But here we are at 3.3, moving slowly up there. And of course, let's go. I think we've got the weekly here. I think we have. Let's go to the monthly. Maybe we got the monthly on here. Let's pull this all the way down. Fortunately, I don't have a. This is not a full chart, by the way. So this just shows you from the top that we were up at 52 cents and down we are at the moment. So it gives you a good idea of the range on a monthly basis on the Hex there. And let's see. So far, we seem to be humming along here. Are we going to move up, or we got a little bit more pain to go? If the Bitcoin goes down to 11K, are we going to move that far down? Are we going to get to that 1 cent, half cent that some people are talking about? If we move, similar fashion to a BTC, or are we going to surprise to the upside? Are we going to do something a little different and start moving out of our bear market, which we ran the bear market, right? So we've been in there a bit longer there, September there. So cool to see what happens. All right, so cool. That is that. Let's go back to the daily on there, and let me pull that up there. Shame I haven't got the auto on this. There's a problem when you have all these charts together. They just don't seem to have the auto functions there either. Right, so that's where we are, 3.3. Let's have a look at Maxi. Maxi was actually pulled down a little bit here to 7.8 cents. And of course, it just got bought up just in the last hour. We're on the hourly chart here on Maxi, and it just got bought up to 8.1 cents. So that was nice. And of course, let's see what happens here. No further breakout. Let's look at the ratio here versus Hex. So yeah, it had pulled back down to 2.33 Hex per Maxi. It's now at 2.45. So it's actually at the top of the range here. Let's see whether it can do a bit more with that. Obviously, with the massive burn, was it close to 18.8 million burn, something like that? We'll see how much how the impacts. Obviously, the 369 reward, almost a 1 in 3 Maxi went into the team. I think it was 32% of Maxi went into the team. Unbelievable. And of course, it wasn't too far away. We were talking about 20%, and then we said, imagine if 100 million goes in, right? We weren't too far away from that, were we? We went too far away. So what was it? Just I'm trying to remember now, 92 million, 93 million, something like that. And of course, isn't that incredible? Maxi went to the team. Unbelievable numbers, really. And of course, what pressure is that going to put on the Maxi premium? Obviously, they had two things. You had a run up in Maxi, and then you've got to say, well, now we've got this high percentage that's gone into the team. That's off the market for either burnt off the market for a long time. And then you've got to say, well, with taking into account the run up versus the offset, where would the premium lie now? So at the moment, it's sitting at 2.45. Let's see whether this thing will head towards 3 Hex per Maxi. We'll find out at the moment. Of course, the market will decide. So cool. Now, obviously, we've got more charts, folks. Woohoo! We've got more charts. And I think we've got so many charts that some of them aren't showing up. It's just the way it goes. Hey, I think we've got some. Who else have we got in there? We've got a couple more comments. What time is it now? It's your daily stats coming out in a second. I'll get to that in a second there. Nazir in the house there. Hey, Nazir, been a while. Good evening, everybody. Good to see Nazir. And Crypto Dan says, if you come to Scotland, make sure to visit Edinburgh and we can get a beer. That sounds pretty cool, Crypto Dan. I like that a lot. Daily stats out. Yeah, out pretty shortly. And lies beneath the truth there. Woohoo! Hi all. Hex, EHEX, PLSX, and PLSX for the win. And a member for 5 months. Woohoo! Lies beneath. Got to do the bow down. That's awesome. Lies beneath. I do appreciate the support big time. And of course, Lies beneath always brings us the ultimate strategy there. Very, very cool. Unfortunately, that doesn't show up on my studio, that particular thing, but that's really, really cool. Do appreciate it. Rothko's in the house there. Such an amazing launch with Maximus DAO. The bull market will be glorious. Is Rothko absolutely glorious? And Sam Hex and SB in the house. Yo-ho. Was it Yo-ho? Yo-ho says Sam. That's pretty funny, man. And yeah, big shout out to Lies Beneath. 5 months supporter of the channel. Big support. Appreciate it big time. All right, so cool. Let's quickly have a look at Maxi team. Now, some of the I've added all the charts for the first time. We have got nine charts now. We've got Hex. We've got Maxi. We've got team. we've got Base, Trio, Lucky, and Decimus there. Is that 9? I'm pretty sure that's 9. And Icosa, and Hedron. Yeah. Whew. That's pretty gross. All right, cool. Maxi there. Maxi, we've got Maxi versus Team as a pair. Now, I tried to pick out the biggest liquidity pairs and also the logical ones, or more logical ones. So we've got Maxi versus Team here at the moment. Of course, we've got 7.987 there, the ratio, because obviously people put Maxi into Team. And of course, 1/3 of Maxi into Team. It's got a ratio here of 1.09 Team to Maxi. So pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What we got there at the moment. We got Hex Base in there. Look, we haven't got much data, but Hex Base says 3.3 cents. And of course, what's the base price there? 0.9787 base. So 1x to 1 base there. Looking pretty good. Obviously, at a discount there. So you're getting base, so that makes sense with the premium, I guess. This pair failed to load, unfortunately. I don't know why, but this is the Lucky. I think it's Lucky versus Base, this one, but the chart's not loaded, which is unfortunately happens sometime. I don't know whether I can reset that. Let me just reset, see whether that will populate. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Too many token overload for Dexstreamer. Too many token overload for Dexstreamer. It's failed to load again. Oh, what a pain! What a pain! I loaded it there. That is Trio versus Base. Now we've got Lucky versus Trio here as well. So the Trio price there, Lucky versus Trio. So 7 years versus 3 years there. I guess we could flip that around, but it's at 0.995. Guess that makes sense, or doesn't quite make sense, but we'll see how that goes. Lucky Decimus here, 3.2 cents, and of course, what we got there. Let's have a look at the Lucky Deci there, 0.998. So that makes a little bit more sense, but man, it's been moving around quite a bit on that one. Hex versus Decky. So Decimus one there, and of course, what we got there is 0.98 at the moment. 0.98 on the Deci there, 1x. The Deci, weird. So yeah, early days for that. Hex Hedron there at what else we got? Hex Hedron 3.2. Price in Hedron is at 11,702 Hedron per hex. And Hex Hedron USDC is currently at 2,822. So this used to be up near the top. This is down further down now, just trying to keep the projects together. Just humming along here at the moment. Obviously, still how long away? 6 weeks away. Just over 6 weeks away from the big fortnight payday event with the Icosa. So we're going to have tens of thousands of T-shares, something like 50,000 T-shares, trillions of burning Hedron with the winnings, I guess, and massive Icosa inflation and rewards to stakers. So if you're staking Hedron, Icosa or got Wats's, it's going to be the big inflation event, but like big payday for Hex. And of course, that you're going to become a real OG by then because you'll have kind of the founding major inflation period. And good luck to you on all that. It's going to be fun to see. Then, of course, you just got to hold long term for the maximum appreciations, as we say, maximum appreciations. Spike's in the house there. Hey, Spike, good to see you. What's up, peeps? Dan, hey, Superman, great stream and stuff. As always, Champ Maxi just rocketed to 13 cents, looking bullish for Maxi. It must be on that burn. Maxi rockets. And where did that happen? I just covered that price. Got 8.1 cents there on Maxi. All right, cool. Where else there? We've got Icosa there is Icosa USDC is at 95 cents at the moment. So did drop down here. Icosa USDC did drop down to just below 80 cents there, 78 cents. Got back up to 99, almost back at $1, and then back down to 95 cents at the moment, following Hex down. And of course, the Icosa ETH there, which is actually a huge liquidity pair. I didn't realize it until I added it in. And that is at 97 cents there too, but that's got the most liquidity in there, which was interesting. I didn't realize that. And of course, Hex Icosa there as well. Let's have a look at this. So yeah, 0.03389 Icosa per Hex So cool. Hedron there at one Hedron for ACOSA. Let's have a look there. So obviously the price 50285, and that's where there's at the moment. Hedron ACOSA there, one Hedron with 502855 ACOSA there. So it's pretty much it. Very, very nice. Those are the charts. Look, so many of them, man. Welcome to the Hex ecosystem. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! We're going to watch those charts mature over time, I'm sure, and grow up and become big, big boys. But let's jump over. We're going to come back to all the other prices. But we're going to come back to, we're going to go to the Hex stat daily stats because they're hot off the press for day 1030. So let's check it out. And they've been out just for a little while, I guess. But we've got the 27th of September. We've got the price at 3.294 cents, pretty similar to yesterday. We've got the Hex Paley day out here, 6.193 T-shares. Sorry, T-shares. 6.193 Hex per T-share. And, of course, the T-share rate has gone up 6.3 Hex per T-share, up to 24,204.9 is the T-share rate. And the share price is $797. So, obviously, the share price there is based on the Hex price and the share rate there. And the share rate only goes up and to the right. The Hex price can move around. And, of course, if the Hex price ever gets back to its all-time high, then it's, let's say, 52 cents. 52 cents is going to be pretty expensive T-shares. 52 times 24,204. That would get us back up to $12,586 for a T-share. Obviously, you can get it for a third of the price if you stake out for 10 years, and that would be $4,195 at the all-time high price. But at the moment, of course, you can get a T-share if you do a 10-year stake at a 797 divided by 3. That is $265, so not too bad there. The average stake length, 6.65 years. I'm not sure if this is actually quite right, this one, this number here. This seems a little odd to me. But anyway, we'll move forward. APY there, rate, yield, in emergency in-state penalties. Maybe that will change tomorrow. We'll see. 37.47 should have changed today, I thought. But anyway, 37.47% is the APY yield. That's inflation plus emergency in-state penalties. And, of course, the amount of Hex in the pool has gone down from 281 million to 279. There is a similar amount of USDC in the pool there, just under 11.7 million and just under 1,300 ETH there. Let's have a look at, it's not quite updating. I'm pretty sure I'm on the right day here. Yeah, right day here. So cool. Not sure what's happened here. This is not quite right here. Bit confused here with these numbers, folks. That's not what I'm expecting to see. Not sure what's happening here. Okay, we're gonna have to come back to these T-share numbers. That something's not right there. Expecting the Maximus T-shares to show up here. The team petrol T-shares. Let's come back to that. I'm not sure what's happening there. We had the reduction circulating supply yesterday and the staked circulating supply yesterday, which made sense. But we haven't got the T-shares showing up, which is kind of weird. Maybe they'll redo. Maybe the numbers will revise or something. I'm not sure. They should have gone over. What else? There we got 9.75. So yeah, the stake length and the T-shares don't make sense to me. Stake there 9.75. That makes sense in terms of the stake percentage of coins, I guess. The penalties, 600,000 in penalties there. We've got the current stake is up 35, up to 109,598. And, of course, wallets up 19 to 310,000. Our symbolic number here, total holders, is up 140. That's actually off quite a bit from all the other days. Kind of bizarre. But we're up to 498,683. We're so close to 500,000 on the total numbers. So we'll get there in the end. So cool. What else there? We're on day 1031. We're getting closer, one closer to 3 years there. Birthday party. So getting closer indeed. What are we at there? Yeah, 64 days away. 64, almost down to 2 months away from the Hex 30-year birthday, and of course moving into 4th year. Cool. That is pretty much it. I think yeah. I was expecting the Maximus stuff to come through. We've got some of these numbers here. Now they're trying to get, by the way, they're trying to get this on Nomics to get the tokens for all the perpetuals on there, which is cool. And what else we got there? We'll jump away from there. I think have I got the Hex Whalebot? Yeah, I have got the Hex Whalebot. So these are the T shares we're expecting. These T shares here, you can see from all the perpetuals. Obviously, the big 10-year Decimus one here at 72,000. Can't see that in the Hex Daily Stats for some reason. I'm not sure what's happening there. Hopefully, we'll get that up. That will refresh or something later. 10.2 million Hex just bought for this 70 hours ago for $350,000. So that was nice. We've got some big stakers there. What else about going in the Hex Whalebot there? Some big Hex end stakes. And what out there? 13.4 million Hex sold for 444,000 8 hours ago. Let's see what they say about this one. This is Hexologist there. That's terrible. That's pretty bad. What else there? And 11 million Hex in staked just now, 34 minutes ago. So that just in staked 169 days. So they'll probably just restake. Probably what happened there. So cool. That is pretty much that. And yeah, I'm not surprised. I might refresh this one more time because I'm a little bit surprised at the average state length and the T share is not showing up. So yeah, a little confused there. Maybe this will update. That's bizarre. Maybe it was going to show up tomorrow. That should have shown up today, I would have thought. But anyway, we will find out. But that's pretty much it. Let's get into the rest of the charts. Before we do that, let's catch up on any further comments in the chat. Woo! Rock on, as we say, rock on. Hit the likes, says Sam. Definitely hit the likes. Ivan says, will the burn happen on both chains for Hedron? That should happen. That should happen. They had everything got forked over, so they should have that happen on both chains. I don't know how busy it's going to be on that chain. Let me think about that. Cruisers, auctions, they should be identical. Brennan says get Hex 6-month member, says Brennan, and yeah, well done on that one. Lies beneath the truth, 5-month member. Well done, everybody. Appreciate the support. Wake me up when September ends, says DB. It's not too far away. We're here in the bear floating at 3 cent Hex. Come new all-time highs. Never forget where we are right now. Rothko says absolutely. And of course, you can pick up a lot of volume at the moment, which is pretty neat. Pulse Union House, good morning, everybody. Pulse Union in the house. And yeah, Pulse Union's got their launch coming up. Got their sacrifice on at the moment for their social sites. I'm looking forward to their new website, social media website. Sorry, social platform website. Hey, Superman, I'm feeling a little down today. Can I get a woo-hoo? Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Hey, Davey, I hope that you feel better now. It's November, champ. Time says, yeah. We've got the excitement from DB. What else there? Christian in the house there. Hello, family. I got late to the party. I bet I missed the juicy stuff. Lol, says Christian. And there's still some gravy left over, says Davey. I like that. That's well said. I knew it. Maxi was a heavyweight, says Christian. So cool. That is pretty much it. We've got Pulse Dodge coin on the BNB chain. And what am I going to say about this? Just under 4/10 of a penny. Weekend off here. Not great for Pulse Dodge. We've got a P33 at 10.5 cents there. Just the first red day. Had it just slowly creeping back up. Still down the bottom though. And of course, Internet Money. Internet Money having a bit of a green candle today. Bit of volume coming in there. Coming off what? Just 6,000, moving up to close to 7,000 there, getting as high as 7,500. So bit of a fight going on here. Still a lot of work to do, as we can all appreciate. Got to get back to 10,000, something like that. Ideally, 11,000 would be cool, and get above a lot of these candles. But let's see how we get on. Airdrops. We're having a look at the airdrops. Pulse Dodge coin there. This is the next big play for me. Obviously, not investment advice. But they've got their dual token system coming out. No news from the founder today. He keeps misusing words. He's very clever, but he's also misusing words like an imminent. Imminence, like I say, I think within 24 hours. Not otherwise, just keep using soon. Use the word soon. That's going to be soon. That way, you've got a couple of weeks up your sleeve. A couple of weeks. Soon. All right, so here we are at the moment at $3.19. We came off yesterday. Yesterday we had a price of $3.40. We're currently at 319, but nice little uptrend starting to form. And of course, I guess if we can get past $3.63 to $4, that's kind of our next sort of zone there. A play over $4 would be very bullish indeed. Yeah, it's kind of where we are there. So cool. Let's see how we get on. I've got a little red plane with Wolverine on it, but you know, maybe it's going to be very green soon. Weight token, of course. Weight token just easing off, almost basically back to at the bottom of the range. We've got to half a penny there. Currently at just over half a penny at the moment, with a high of the day of a just over 6/10 of a penny. So yeah, back in the range there. And of course, most people are just waiting to mint their token before Pulsechain. So we'll see how we get on there. What else? We've got the wildcards. Woohoo! Wildcards, man. This is the community members tokens, and this is we're covering them because you know they've got different tokenomics, but a lot of them are doing trading volume that buys the token. Actually, not sure what more does. Actually, I need to probably find out. But PZN there is from Comrade Zen, a well-known Hexkin, Pulsechain, and of course the price has come back though. As soon as it went down below 7/10 a penny, I said to you, oh, that's the critical line. What happened? It basically busted down. It's now just over half a cent at the moment. But of course, I've got a little bit that was given to me by one of our wonderful community members, and let's see what the price of that's worth at the moment. Because I've been getting little amounts. Hey, I got more. Isn't that cool? I got more. I start off with 9,994. I've now got 10,011. So I've just started getting some. I don't know how it works because it doesn't transfer into the account. It just uses some sort of function to add to my contracts. There must be some function that you can do in smart contracts that doesn't require gas fees or something. So something you do at the beginning of your contract, there must be some sort of function. But anyway, it's added some PCN distribution. So that's cool. Obviously, if I had a lot of it, that'd be a big deal. It's just a small amount, so it's only a few cents there, maybe 8 cents or 7, 8 cents, something like that. Oh, it's actually a bit lower now, isn't it? So 14 times half a cent, 7 cents, 7 cents. So yeah, that's it at the moment, but it's ticking along there. And let's have a look at the more token. This is from Trayvon. And of course, this broke down, got lower lows, but has managed to stay here for about a week at 78 cents. Hasn't really busted down, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes here. Let's spend 4 days at this range at 85 cents and then moved up, but nothing happened yet with this one. Very speculative and still got lower lows, lower highs, but it is, big leader there with Trayvon. Was he got 24,000 subscribers, something like that? So cool. And of course, been around for a long time. So that's pretty much the charts, folks. Woohoo! Rock on that. And of course, here is the price there. Hex at the moment, 3.3 cents. Maxi at 8.1 cents. And of course, with the premium over Hex at the moment of 2.4587. That's looking really good. Let's see whether it's going to break out. Don't know. Let's find out. Obviously, with the big burn on that, or whether the running up versus the burn, where it will lie. It's going to be fun to see. All right, so many tokens now. Look at all these. Woo! Party on an Hex ecosystem. Rock on to infinity and beyond. What other project teams will come along eventually? We obviously got Power City Flex coming up, but they've been leading that they're going to launch on Pulsechain, which is a bit of a shame. Why don't they launch on Ethereum and stuff like that? Why don't they do that? Yeah, come on, guys. Why don't you do that? Why don't you launch on all 3 chains, ETH Power and ETH Power City? Why don't you just step up to the plate there? I'm just teasing you guys a bit, but and then you copy of all the contracts. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll all 3 contracts, and then do Pulsechain with HexFlex. Oh no, just start off easy. That's fine. All right, cool. Let's get over to PulseX before I get in trouble on this live stream and get rugged. Let's pull this over here. And of course, let's go to our Play wallet. And of course, we're going to go into all the features later. So the last feature that was updated from Richard Pote, this was after PulseCon 2022 in Las Vegas, was limit orders were added. So if you haven't practiced with this, they're really, really cool. I've done a video on this on this channel, so check it out if you want to see a how-to video already. I've got this old limit order here open. It's expired. So that limit order expired. You got the order history there too. Pretty easy. You can basically set the price. If you're buying or selling, you can set a selling price. If you're buying, you can set a buying price. If it hits those prices, then it will trade for you. You can set amazing timeframes on here. Absolutely amazing timeframes. Really long compared to some other limit orders. Look, you can do a 1 year and a custom here. I'm not sure what the custom max is, but you can definitely do a year there. Pretty awesome on that as well. So you can select different pairs and trade. So really important feature that was added to PulseX, and that allows people to do a lot of different things there with that. So while you're sleeping at night, you could have a trade going through, and you weren't even there at the time. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, we've got exchange and liquidity provision in farms. So if you provide liquidity, you can take your LP tokens and put them in farms. And the juicy incentive token, which will be have a emission curve, which is deflationary. You can see at the moment on the farm, I already have 114 million LP tokens in the PLSX and PLS earning. The APR has gone down quite dramatically, though. It used to be up at like 70 something. Now it's at 13%. I probably should have traded out into the incentive PLSX. This has been way higher all the time. So it's just that's just the way it goes. This is just testnet. We don't know what the real world's going to be like when we go live. There's been so much more people on this platform that it's unbelievable. So yeah, I've got 63.9 incentive tokens. So we're going to harvest that, and it's going to go into my wallet. And I've probably got a few more actually. I'll probably do something, but probably compound those or do something with them at the moment. So my LP is worth 768,000. I probably put in 950 million to start off with, so I'm down on that. But plus another, probably reinvested probably another 50,000-60,000. So I'm still down. It's down on that one. So I have to wait for the prices to go up. But the problem is that not enough people are playing around on the testnet at the moment. So you can see the volumes on here are relatively low compared to what they were in the early days when lots of people were playing. We were up in the 10 billion, 9.84 billion there. We're currently running around 36 million, 50 million, something like that on the testnet here as people are not playing. So we've got the price of Pulse at the moment, 0074. We've got the price of PulseX 0015. And of course, Hex at the moment down $1.33. I'm sure this was up at many dollars at one stage. Incentive token $29, still doing really well. I actually think the incentive token will do pretty well on PulseX because all the yield farmers will be after it and the speculators will speculate on it. Just funny how that works out. Now, how long that will last for is another question. It is on a deflationary emission profile, so we'll see whether that is enough to maintain it a long period of time. Obviously, if PulseX is as super successful as we think it's going to be, then I think this might actually do all right. We need a bit more detail about the incentive token, but other than that, I think it's cool. We've got the loan token on there at the moment, $20.89, and that's down 46%. So maybe we should snap up some of that. I don't know. I don't even know if I've got any loan token. Have I got any loan token? No, I don't have any loan token at the moment. So just the way it goes. Let's have a look at how it's been running though. The loan token start off at one loan token. So let's actually reverse this around. One PLSX would get not much, but now let's flick that around. It's harder to say. Yeah, so you could get 462. Now you only need a little bit to get loans. So 20 is like 19,000, 20,000 PLSX to get one loan at the moment. So cool. All right, let us jump away there. Actually, I might flick this around. Let's flick it around. And how much have I got here? Let's flick this around. How much can I get? 184 loans. So we might let's do a million. Let's do a million. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A million. That's going to give me 72. Let's just do 100. Let's do 100. Let's do 1.3. So let's do that. Bam. And we're going to buy some low token. And that's probably going to help the price a little bit, maybe. That's $2,000, so maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. And that's going through. Boom. So that is what's happening with the markets there on PulseX. It's always good to play around with PulseX. I've got tutorials on Discord and on this channel if you want to play around. And let's go to the stability pool on Liquid Loans testnet. And of course, we've got the APR at 6.97. I've got 3.29 loan tokens. Let's claim that. And add to our loan bag as it were. So we're staking USDL in the pool. We put PLS in, and we've got USDL. We've got $6,200 in there, which is pretty nice. We're getting 6.97% APR. The annual percentage yield is like a flat interest rate. So that's pretty good. And that's looking good. So stake our pool there. Oh, look, there's 100 loan tickets that we bought. So that's pretty nice. We've got 6.16 USDL. No Pulse because the redemption feature is not working at the moment because it's not on. Let's harvest our rewards on the staking pool. So you can imagine this is going to be absolutely insane on this platform when this all goes live. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So yeah, it's going to be epic. All right, we're just harvesting that. And away you go. That's taking a little bit longer than I thought. Oh, there we go. Transaction confirmed. Nice. So we've got 103 loan. We're going to stake all that. We're going to jump from 66 loan up to, 61 loan up to 164 loan. So we're earning 453% APY. That's not going to happen in the real world. Probably more like 25 to 30%, 25 to 40% maybe on the once it calms down. Could be pretty high at the beginning. Like in the hundreds of percents, possibly something like that, thousands or whatever. It depends on how quickly you get in. It's going to be hard. No, hundreds maybe. Who knows? It's going to be something like that. But it'll probably even out lower. Right. There we go. So cool. There we are. So that's pretty much that. So we're going 64 loan. Let's see how we get on. Earning some nice USDL there. And I think that's probably it. Now we have got the faucet. Let's go claim our free loan token. So this is what you got to do when you're on Pulsechain, right? You got to scrape and steal everything you can. You got to take whatever, not steal, but you got to take every opportunity you can to accumulate. And that's what we're doing. Waiting for transaction confirmation. You have got it, sir. You have got it. Welcome to the future, sir. Welcome to loans. Yes, we got free 10 more. I should have just planted that in there as well. There we are. Let's plant that too. We're going to go up to 174 because we're earning 453,000 APY. We could definitely buy a Hexaco country there with this kind of APR on a consistent basis. Liquid loans is going to be the bomb. It's going to be the absolute bomb. There we are. So cool. Let's jump over to some of the comments. Get a couple of comments in the top here. I think we got up to, I knew it, Maxi was heavyweight, says Christian. Excitement from Pulse Unity. And of course, the Green Day fans in here. Says get Hex. Hex is the GOAT. Adan says, hey, Superman, do you think that Maxi ecosystem will have dashboard for all our stakes on the perpetuals? Like Apicosa, where stakes shows all stakes and rewards in 10. I think so, Adan. I think they are going to do that, but I can't remember. I would just hit DipCatcher up on Discord because I think they're going to do that. Not sure. Let me just jump over to Discord and let me just check the links here. That's a good question. I think they're going to be doing that. I think they may have been working on that. I just can't remember. He's working on so many dashboards. I just can't remember that. But at the moment, they had these two sites for the minting phase. I'm not sure if he's done any updates to those. Let me just pull this in, and I'm going to have to swap it over to the Ethereum there. I'm not sure if they're pulling in all the charts there, but that's definitely something for feedback for DipCatcher, although I think that he may have been thinking about that, but maybe I don't know if he's had the chance to do anything on that at this stage. Diamond hands. So this is the staked amount. Mint. Yeah, I don't know if they've done anything like that. So I think that's definitely a must to me. I think that's definitely probably the most important thing is to have that. So he probably will be working on it. But in any case, I'd hit him up on Twitter and let DipCatcher know, just if he hasn't already. Tell him how you feel, Superman, says Brennan. Yeah, I was just being silly about the Power City. But it would be pretty cool, right, to see them launch earlier than later. That'd be cool. All right, cool. Let's jump back. All right, so here we are on the Hex charts at the moment. 3.3 cents on Hex. Maxi at a 2.587 premium over Hex. And, of course, looking pretty good there. Hedron, let's go down to Hedron. Hedron is, I might actually move, I don't know, maybe I should move Hedron to another tab, I'm not sure, because it's got, I want to give it as much prominence as I do the Maximus there. 2,822 is Hedron at the moment. Right, what else there? I'm dying to get some PulseX. I missed the sacrifices, Christian. Oh, did you? Did you miss the Pulsechain and the PulseX sacrifice? Oh, there. Then, Christian, look for dips, keep dry powder, accumulate the first couple of months. That is basic strategy there to get in. So, yeah, that's all I'd say. Christian says, I feel liquid lines will be another heavy hitter. I think so, Christian. I think it's going to be massive. Katie in the house. Hey, Katie. Hello, Francis, as well. How can we get our hands on some liquid loans, Christian? You have to wait till Pulsechain launches. It's going to be four to 6 weeks after the launch. After Pulsechain launches, will liquid loans be up? So you have to wait a while for that. Yeah, you can reach out on the new Discord, new token chat. Says Pulse, yeah. All right, cool. All right, so very nice. That's pretty much, we're coming up to an hour and a half. Pretty good. This is our only live stream. Normally I say 2 live streams a day, but it's just 1 live stream. But I'll be working on how to buy and sell Hex on the Ether network. That's the next video. Yeah, I'll be doing probably a couple other topics as well. So stay tuned for those how-to videos. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the next one up there, it's going to be how to stake your Hex on all chains. Using Arcosa Pro. So look forward to that. It's going to be good. Yep, it's good to play around with PulseX. We're the channel that does it the most, right? We play on PulseX every couple of days. We like to harvest our loan token, our yield farming. Pretty nice there. Let's have a look at the buy and burn. See where that's at the moment. Buy and burn on the old PulseX. I was actually expecting another testnet for a Pulsechain, to be honest, with the new language rewrite for the consensus. And we'll see what happens in that space. Have we got much of this? Is that much of a burn? No, not much of a burn. You can actually claim the burn, but it's not, doesn't seem like much there with claim. It's like less than a cent. Yeah, the burn is 69.6 billion, so almost up to 70 billion on there. And that's with the lower volumes on there as well. Right, liquid loans looking like a bad boy, liquid loans, and looking really cool. That means we're looking really good. All right, cool. Actually, let's end up on Richard Hart's meme, which is what I wanted to cover. I must have closed it down because Richard Hart's meme here. This is the picture for the thumbnail. You can see it's an old picture, but it's got looking in a pretty humble little basement thing of some form with Richard Hart in the picture on the top left there, watching some TV. Got some leftover chow in a Coke can. I don't know, it's some water, I guess, in these here. But that's pretty hilarious, right? That's pretty hilarious. I actually got to read out one of the comments that was made on it by a lady from the looks of it, Charlie 2020. Where do we send donations? This person needs a little help. Sorry, but I would not like to live like this, even for Hex and delayed gratification. Sorry, Richard, but no. This is an old meme photo. It's probably from decades ago, says Richard. But that's pretty funny. And away we go there. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that live stream today. Man, get into Discord. We just hit 760 members. Woohoo! On the way to 800. We've just upgraded to level 3 on the Discord, thanks to members, and of course Sasha there, and then of course we've got all the features, and I'll be adding lots of other new things in there because we've got new features now. I have added in the automation here. Look at that, it looks cool with the Pulsechain automation there. Does it look badass or what? So very cool. That was one of the new upgrade features there. So good times. Now, if you like good information, we've got all the useful links in here for everything that you could possibly imagine in the Hex and Pulsechain ecosystem. We've got video tutorials on Pulsechain and PulseX. We've got general chat, of course, for Hex and Richard Hart projects. Price chats for pretty much everything except the scam coins. Promotional tools if you want to spread the word about Hex and everything else. Non-crypto chat if you want to talk about cars and everything else like that. We've got the new token chat here if you want to talk to Pulse Unity and other people around projects. We've got Pulse Unity in there. New token links, of course, in here with all the projects. We've got the sacrifice projects. We've got the hot pulse list, which does basic evaluations for some of them. We've got the probably the most comprehensive list here on Pulsechain news site there. I need to update that number because it's much higher than 100 now. And the Pulse Police, if you're looking at airdrops and contract, they check those out. Not all of them, but they do what they can, and that's pretty good service there. If you're a Hex Token channel member, of course, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechain, Hexagon's Rich Art Club, and of course, you'll get a purple name in the chat there, as well as access to the Hex Token private channel there as well. So very, very cool. A big shout out to all the moderators in the chat, Craig, because obviously Hex Token YouTube on Discord is syndicated with Jen Hex, Craig, and of course Heinz Crypto as well. But our moderators, Craig Wadding, Brian, who's our community lead, and of course KD, Sandy Beach, who everyone knows and loves, and of course Fat Sammy and many others in the moderator team. Big shout out to all of you. So yeah, get in there, folks. Looks pretty good. Let us get out there. We're going to have a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to sign off. I think it's an hour and a half. It's a pretty good time to do that. So let's play out some funky music on the way out. Why don't we do that? Since I had Power City on, let's play out the Power City core teaser. Take care, everybody. Bye for now. See ya.